Hello and welcome back to another instalment of our Christmas lecture, our Christmas Shorts. In this section of the Lit Christmas lecture, we're going to be talking to one of our postgraduate research students, Mattia Parati. And Mattia comes from Italy and is going to share his experiences of Italian Christmases.
My name is Mattia Parati. As Debbie said, I'm a postgraduate researcher and I'm working in the bioproduction of polymers from various different industrial byproducts.
That's brilliant, thank you. Mattia, you're Italian, you've got that beautiful Italian accent. So could you tell us a little bit of what it's like to celebrate Christmas in Italy?
Well, many of the stereotypes about Italy are quite true, and they're particularly reflected during the Christmas period in Italy. So it's all about food and family, really. I think those are the two main keywords that resonate particularly with it. Usually, the Christmas tree is always done in the first or second week of December. In the northern part of Italy, we have a saint that we celebrate, which is called Sant'Ambrogio, and it usually is on the 8th of December, and that is when most people in the northern part start doing their Christmas tree. And then there's just the normal lighting that goes up and everything up until the last week just before Christmas. And because obviously Italians have big families, usually there is a number of different parties that go on leading up or just after Christmas as well. So depending on how big your family is, it's not uncommon to start celebrating Christmas on the 17th or 18th of December, and then just doing multiple dinner or also lunches on and leading to and on the 25th of December. Christmas Eve is particularly big for us. Usually, as also in the UK, you have presents. Some of the most interesting, things about it probably is that there is a lot of food and a lot of food, yeah, some of it it very much varies depending on the geographical region in Italy. If you are more at the north, you have more rice and red meats, and then on the way down to Sicily, it looks more like more meat. On the coast, more fish, and in the deep south, more vegetables and meats as well. Obviously, with the variation of spices and all different things that are used. So that's really what it looks like.
Are there any particular Christmas Eve traditions or any particular presents that are typical to an Italian Christmas?
I would say that's not very. There isn't a common denominator. The tradition usually is that you always have the dinner on Christmas Eve with your closest family. That is usually the case, as well as the lunch on the following day, on the 25th. So you would most likely have dinner, for example, with your grandparents and with your cousins, first degree cousins, and brothers and sisters, and that close family on the Saturday night, or alternatively on the Sunday morning. Sorry, on the 24th evening or on the 25th lunchtime. So that's mostly what happens. Yeah, but it's more traditional when it gets to the Epiphany on the 7th of January, in which basically on the 7th of January, we have La Befana, which is the Epiphany, and the idea is that she brings either candies or coal to good or naughty children, and usually that is always quite standard. I would say everyone gets some sort of coal-looking candy, so just black candy. Some places in Sicily, they put a stick in the sock. Depends where you're going, but 99% is just candies in the sock, and you have yeah, that's what you have.
So Labyrinth, she's Wicked Witch, isn't she?
She is indeed. I don't particularly know the full story of it, but it just legend says that she's just overlooking. She's like an old grandma overlooking the kids, and just to check if they were nice during the year or not so nice during the year.
So is the Epiphany the time when the gifts are given, or are the gifts given at Christmas as well?
No, gifts are usually given at Christmas, and then during the Epiphany you just get candies, really, and then a trip to the dentist. No, just candies. But the interesting thing is that in Italy, the Christmas festivities, they run usually also for working people. They run from the 22nd or 23rd, wherever the Friday falls during that year, up until the 26th. The 26th is also a festivity because it's another very important saint, which is Santo Stefano. And then people usually go back to work for a couple of days. So they would do the 27th, the 28th, the 29th, the 30th, and potentially the 31st during the daytime. And then it's again a festivity the 31st evening, the first of the year, but in most places and in most companies up until the 7th of January when the Epiphany comes. So you have kind of a break in between Christmas and New Year, and then you just extend after then. And the second part is everyone that goes skiing. That's usually when they go skiing. So it's between the 1st of January and 7th of January.
Wow. I think I really like that idea of having that sort of break to celebrate the new year, coming back to work to kind of get over Christmas, and then that lovely break after the new year. Okay, so thank you for sharing that with us. That sounds really, really interesting, and I love this idea of there being, that old lady who's kind of watching over the children to see if they're naughty or nice, in the way that perhaps in other cultures that's perhaps Santa Claus who's doing that.
Yeah, no, Santa Claus just gives gifts to everyone, and then it's the witch that is portrayed as more of the firmer hand, let's say.
Oh, that's lovely. So thank you very much for talking to us, Mattia. It's been lovely hearing about your experiences of Italian Christmases, and all the best with the rest of your research degree, and the work that you're doing at the university.
Thank you.